Alrighty y'all, this is World Class Jerk, and I still got a cough, so I still got a weird sounding voice, so we're not going to get too fancy on this intro here. All I'm going to say is that today we are comparing the small battery in Astroneer to the power cells in Astroneer to see which one's better, or perhaps they're both the same and you want to use one in some situations and the other in other situations. But without further ado, we're going to get straight into this by answering the first and most obvious question. Which one of these two items holds more power? Well, we can do that with a simple test. Since this one has power full in it, and this one has no power at all, we can use this to charge this to see which one has more power by the time one is filled up or the other one runs out. So we're going to do that in a time lapse right now, and when I get back, we'll obviously know which one holds more power. So there you have it, a very quick and simple test, very easy to conduct, and we have found out that the power cells holds more power because after charging the small battery, it still has two little things out of 8 left over. So by using math, we can actually figure out that since this holds 32 units of power, and it took 3/4 of this thing's power, then this obviously holds 48 units of power. Whoa, guys, not so fast. You see, my math was wrong, but it was right. Now I know what you're thinking. World Class Jerk, what do you mean by that? How can your math be wrong and right at the very same time? Well, it was wrong because I thought 4/3 times 32 was 48, therefore meaning that the power cells produced 48 units of power. But that's incorrect. 4/3 times 32 is indeed not 48. But the math was right because I did some testing afterwards and the power cells do indeed hold 48 units of power. In other news, guys, I was so stupid that I was smart. And so, the power cells holds 48 units of power while this holds 32. Now, the reason this doesn't say how much power it holds is a mystery to me. It also doesn't say how much it outputs. So right now, all we know is that the small battery holds 32 units of power, and the power cells holds 48 units of power, but we do not know how much the power cells puts out, because this puts out 1 unit of power per second, but this one, it does not say for some reason, and so we're going to move on to the next test to figure out what that is. And a simple way to do that is by using this system right here. Basically, we have medium batteries just for the purpose of drawing power. We're using the medium batteries to suck energy from both of these items, and that's the only purpose that they're there for. So this one puts out 1 unit of power, as we already know, but this one we do not know, and so that's why we're going to turn both of these on at the same time using a proximity repeater, like so. And as you can see, they are charging the medium batteries at the exact same rate, so we can conclude that they both put out the same amount of power, which means that since this one puts out 1 unit of power, then this one must also put out 1 unit of power. But a simple way that is very accurate that we can use is also using splitters. If we run our power through a splitter, we can see that it tells you how much power is being used. This one uses 1, and this one also uses 1, and so you see, both of these puts out 1 unit of power, except the power cells holds more power. So obviously the power cell is better than the small battery, right? Well, not necessarily. That brings us to our next test, which will be what happens when they run out, and that might seem obvious, but maybe it isn't. And so, what? That one completely regenerated. It was supposed to be almost out already. I don't know what that was about. I'll be right back when I fix that. Okay, problem solved. We now have a power cell that is almost completely empty, very close to being almost empty, and as you can see, when we put it on here, it regenerates entirely. I think I just found an infinite power glitch potentially then. Okay, so as you can see, we are almost out with the power cell, and once it runs out, whenever it may actually run out, it's completely gone and we don't get it back. Whereas when the small battery runs out, as we'll see here in a second, it does not go away. As you can see, both of these are almost entirely empty, and this time, hopefully it doesn't bug out. We are going to turn these both on at the same time, and as you can see, the small battery, it stays when it runs out, and the power cells are completely gone, which means in any situation where you want to recharge the power source, you're going to want to use small batteries. You have no choice at all. It's not even a question. The batteries is... hang on, I got to turn this off for it to charge. But you know, the battery is the only choice if you want to recharge. So if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking to run a base or something with this, then the power cells are pretty much out of the question as far as storing power, because you craft them and that is it. That's all the power they store, but that is one of the upsides of the power cells. So basically the conclusion here is if you want to use power that you can regenerate, then the battery is the only way to go. But if you need power for a one-time thing, for instance, mining out something and powering your mods on your drill, then the power cells may be better for you because when you craft them, they already have the power. So when you craft a small battery, you have to power it up and then take it with you for your power. But the power cells, if you just want quick power, you can craft it, which means also it might somewhat be useful to you in a base, but maybe not, probably not. But in any case, the only use that I can come up with for the power cells is to use it in your backpack for energy if you go to mine something or something. And that's basically it. I know this is kind of like a quick ending to the video, but I don't really know. I guess my brain sort of had a short circuit there. But at any rate, that's basically the conclusion. Yes, if you want quick power cells, if you want a more sustainable way for you to get power over time, use the small battery. And so, this is an abrupt outro, but you know, stuff. But anyways, goodbye.